Okay there, Lightburn engravers. Let's move forward to the next section. Now, one of the things I want you to remember with Lightburn, and you're going to hear me say this before, and I'm going to say it again. Most of the time when you're dealing with these graphical interfaces, their only responsibility is to take the graphic from CorelDRAW, Engravelab, Adobe, whatever, and pop it in and assign machining to it, power, speed, how much burn time, whether you're cutting or marking, etc. This one does a whole bunch more. It's a full graphic station. Its power comes from interfacing nicely with CorelDRAW, interfacing nicely with Engravelab. Between those two, your only limitation is going to be the ability, the size of your table or the power of your tube. So as I go into here, we're going to go into the next section now, which is installation section. For those of you that were lucky enough to get an on-site installation, remember, if you're doing the same widgets, 4 or 5 widgets over and over again, I have no problem doing a PC to PC installation. I send you this video course. I hook up to your computer remotely. We do it over a course of 2 days, and you're up and running. But if you want to do everything the laser will do, become your own key operator so that you can fix your own problems as they arise, wear and tear, etc., you need an on-site installation and training. Now, the next one, installation video number 1, its main source is going to be that we're going to talk about exhaust and the air pump. Now, the first thing we're going to do on this section is I want you to go back and I want you to check all of the major things of your check sheet for pre-installation. Just make sure you can turn it on, turn it off, you're plugged in right, you got both the chiller and the laser into one circuit breaker with the surge protector, and you have your air pump and your exhaust on another one, whether you're plugged into one surge protector or you're plugged into two, one per. It doesn't matter. It only depends on whether you have the large pump or the small pump. Now, the other thing with the chiller is only distilled water. Chiller should never go above 23 degrees Celsius. If you're running a job and you see you're on 23 degrees, finish the job. If you run a job and you see you're on 25 degrees, stop the job. Same thing with the temperature, the Fahrenheit temperature that's on the tube. Do not let it run above 85. If it's above at 85, I'd run it. It goes 86. I'd stop it. But after I finish that job, I would stop the machine. Now with the air pump, you're literally looking at 20 to 25 psi. And one of the things that you want to make sure that you have is that you have a filtering system on there. You want no moisture in those lines. So if you're in Hawaii, you're somewhere where there's a lot of humidity, you may have to buy a dampener. You may have to buy something that dehumidifies or takes the moisture out of the air. You'll know you're bad because you'll actually see moisture spraying onto your part as you're trying to laser it. Now with the exhaust, remember, exhaust to the outside air, but you also can do an internal exhaust, which we'll talk about later. But if you can exhaust to the outside air, especially since it comes with exhaust as part of the price, you definitely want to do that. And I tend to try to get that exhaust outside a wall, above in an attic, which is the way I have mine, etc. So you don't have to listen to it. And that's where those remotes come in, to where you can turn that stuff off and on remotely. So when you're not running your laser, you want to turn it off. When you're not running your laser, you want to turn your laser off. Just turn your laser on in the morning and then go through. The big thing is the connections. Recheck all your connections, because once you do that, you know things are not going to fall apart. Because I've had people tell me that they're getting smoke in their building and look behind their laser and their tube for the exhaust is disconnected. It just fell off because they didn't tighten the clap tight enough. All right, thanks.